Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. We're presented by the Navy Federal Credit Union. Time to shine the light on Navy wrestling with Nazareth, Pennsylvania's Andrew Cerniglia. And Andrew, as you have grown within your Navy career here, you have seen this momentum building for the program. Not only each year as better individuals have continued to come into it, but obviously now being able to develop those great individuals within a team concept, which is so unique about wrestling. What is it about that momentum? Did you see it coming? And obviously now, as guys continue to work their rear ends off in that room, you guys have been able to put together team success to go along with it.
I mean, yeah, it's been a really cool thing to see us climb up through the rankings and start putting some success up there for Navy wrestling. But it really starts in the room, and everybody's fighting for a starting spot. And as the saying goes, iron sharpens iron, and that's what we're doing every day.
It's so unique. People that see the finished product when you all show up for a dual meet or obviously a match with other teams, and you wrestle maybe 4 or 5 times during those competitions, they don't see the work that goes on in the room. They don't see the competitiveness that goes on in that room because of the depth that has been built in that program. Is that really the kind of the unsung heroes and the hidden gem as to why this team has been able to find team success now, national rankings, and obviously a lot more eyeballs here on Navy wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Cola always says the second guy's got to be ready, and they're always fighting for a spot. And having that depth it makes you feel unsafe, which is a good thing. So we're always looking to do the best we can, and I know I can count on the guys in the room to keep me on my toes and keep me getting better.
I love asking this question of wrestlers, particularly. Football, you got 60 minutes to do your business. Basketball, you got 40 at the college level, 48 at the NBA level. Baseball's got 9 innings. You got 7 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
you got 7 minutes to figure this out there on the mat. And, it's not like you can raise your hand and get a sub at any point during that. As you've developed as a wrestler through the years, how tough is that mentality to develop, knowing that once you step out on the mat, yeah, you can hear the coaches, and maybe during a brief dead period during the match, you can look over there and maybe get a brief bit of counsel from your coaches. But this is just you, 7 minutes on that mat to do your business. How tough is it to develop that part as a competitor in wrestling?
I mean, yeah, it's really tough. It's a 7 minute sprint. Like you're going for all 7 minutes and maybe more. Who knows? But yeah, it's you got to go out, and to an extent there's some scouting, a little bit knowing what the guy's gonna do here and there, but you really just got to go out and rely on your training. And for us, we know we're doing it in the week, so we have that good foundation to rely back on and just really do what we're out there to do.
You mentioned the little bit of scouting that can go on, maybe a certain move, a trend maybe that a guy has that he'll go to in desperate times, or if he's
Yep.
trying to get started in a match. But how much of what happens on the mat is about you and dictating to your opponent throughout the course of the match as much as you can?
I mean, yeah, obviously you want to control the match. So the guy's gonna have some tips and tricks for that he's gonna go for, but if you're on the offense, you're scoring points, you're not giving him a chance to do what he likes to do, then everything's in your hands. So it's just a matter of going out and doing your stuff, staying on the offense.
Yeah, I mean, and certainly as you get closer and closer, I mean, you've obviously been a multi-time NCAA qualifier now, but as you're getting into this portion of the schedule, this time period where we are, nobody is 100% in this game, physically. But what are the challenges to maintain your body, maintain your weight, maintain your strength at a time like this, as every competitor gets worn down during the course of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's not always about driving yourself into the ground. Sometimes you need to take that day or two to really help your body like recover or go go hit the ice bath for 10 minutes after practice, or just little tips and tricks like that that really give you the edge. Because, like you said, nobody's ever going to be 100%. You might be 80, and on a good day, you might be 90. So, and it's uh, it's just working around it. I mean, in the practice room, you're never going to be 100%. So, getting that feel in the practice room, getting uncomfortable is a good thing. So that way, when you get out in the match, there's no surprises.
You've got an unbelievable coaching staff to be able to turn to when necessary. Uh, what do those folks bring to you, and how have they helped you grow as a wrestler? Because as we said, I mean, you're a multi-time NCAA qualifier, but that pressure to maintain and increase that quality is there every day. How do they help in that process?
I mean, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. They're the ones instilling the values into the program. But they're the most supportive coaching staff I've ever like been a part of. They're masters at their trade, and they know that not every day is going to go your way. It's just not, especially in the practice room. But that's what they want to see. They want to see you challenged. They want to see you face some adversity. So that way, when it comes match time, you're ready to go.
I know King Hall provides just great stuff for you guys from a meal standpoint. But is there something as a wrestler that during the course of the year is a go-to for you? Because as we know, I mean, you guys, can't chill out at, Five Guys and just hauling down burgers left and right. Many of you, except maybe Grady and the heavyweight guys. But is there something? Is there a food or anything that's a go-to for you during this time of the year where obviously you're trying to maintain peak fitness, but at the same time, you want to eat a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big foodie, and luckily I went up a weight this year, so I can eat a little bit more. But I don't know, I'm a big fan of steak. Anytime I can get a good steak, it's good for the body, and I know it's not gonna hurt me the next day when I look at the scale. But yeah, that's probably my go-to when I
Is
that
there
week.
something that you have to turn away during this time of year? Because if I was a wrestler, my fetish for Oreo cookies would have to take a
Oh,
break for several months, or I know I would not be able to maintain weight like I was a youth football player where you're running with trash bags on and everything like that, trying to make weight. Is there something that has to take a break during this time of the year for you?
I mean, I'm a big sweets person. I love my candy. I don't say no to it all the time. Just you gotta crave that sweet tooth every now and then. But yeah, I cut back on definitely sugar. Sugar is a big one. It's not your friend, unfortunately. But yeah, I have some of it, but just manage it.
When you think of the incredible fraternity of support that the Navy wrestling program has, um, it's a really exclusive group,
Hmm.
and it's a very supportive group. As you have grown within the program, have you seen that type of support that has seemingly been there every single day since this wrestling program has had one here at the Naval Academy?
Yeah, I mean, we see it all the time, just especially when we see grads come back from matches and stuff like that. Like just down in Virginia Duels, we saw a bunch of guys down there who were stationed in Norfolk, and it was really cool to see them come back and support us. Like it means the world to us. Um, and yeah, it's just really good to see them giving back to the program in any way they can.
You obviously, grew up in the state of Pennsylvania. I mean, the amateur wrestling there is fantastic. Neighboring state, Ohio, as well, as your head coach knows, he's one of the greatest in the history of the sport. Wrestling in an area like that, how much did that prepare you, obviously, for wrestling at college's highest level right now?
I mean, it gave me my foundation. I grew up in a town where it's like wrestling young is like playing football young in Texas. It's probably the same equivalent. So yeah, that really gave me a good bedrock for the years to come.
What's key down the stretch here to maintain where you're at? Obviously, try to even increase it if you can, and be peaking as you're heading into your postseason with the EIWAs and the NCAAs. So still a goal ahead for you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we want to be on that podium at the end of the year. But right now, I mean, we still got matches ahead of us, so just focusing, getting a little bit better each day, whether it's one position or maybe even two. Um, yeah, just focusing on going into practice, getting a little bit better, and everything will pan out.
Do you have somebody that, as you were growing up, that was kind of an influence for you, almost like a mentor in terms of wrestling that really helped you, before you got to the Naval Academy?
Yeah, I have two people that kind of stick out. My high school coach, Matt Beers from Notre Dame Green Pond. Um, he was very influential in me. He's kind of been down the whole high school and college route. So just kind of giving me some guidance on like what college is going to be like. And then Ceci Sully, he was one of my elementary coaches growing up. Oh, elementary like club coaches. He wrestled for Lehigh, um, and he gave me a lot of my technique for top wrestling, and he's been very influential.
Awesome stuff, big fella. Appreciate you taking some time for us. Continued success to you and your teammates with plenty of
Yeah,
goals still ahead this year. Appreciate the time today.
yeah. Thank you. Have a good one.